Why, hello there, Knife Joe here, bringing you a knife unboxing. The rest of the budget knives that I bought during the Black Friday time have come in. Our unboxing knife is this Ozark Trio, which is still doing surprisingly well, I'll be honest. The review of that is coming forth in the future. Doesn't really need a whole lot of use on this one. This one is nicely, evenly, cleanly taped on cardboard cutting. So, I bought a couple knives to check out from White Mountain Knives, because White Mountain Knives is always a good dealer. These are all budget models that were especially on sale during the holiday time, I suppose. I'm doing my best not to get my information in there. Let's start off with the buck. This is a buck made in China, obviously. It is smaller than I expected, but a very interesting looking knife. This is the Buck Selkirk. I don't know how long this has been around, but I have been unaware of it. There are two variants, two sizes of this. This is the smaller one. The larger one is like a 3.8-inch blade, but I don't believe it has a pocket clip on it. Well, this one has a very deep carry reversible pocket clip. I didn't realize how deep it was. Out of box, not quite center. It's definitely off to this side, but I mean, it's a pretty inexpensive buck. That was good. Tons of play, so the centering issue might fix itself. It's quite thick. It really has the illusion of a fixed blade, like the larger variant that has no pocket clip. You're definitely dealing with something that's a bit unusual. This is, I believe this is 420. I forget off the top of my head. I'll of course know that before the full review. But it really has a palm swell to it, like a fixed blade. It helps. You can definitely feel that very pronounced bill, but unless I'm squeezing down on it like in the push grip position, you don't really feel it too much. It's pretty darn comfortable. The swell is decent. It's a little too tight. Let's make some slight adjustments just to see if we can get this thing right where it wants to be, or where I want it to be. Feels like it's on... Yeah, it's on washers. Oh, it's a little gunky in there. That's probably why it's... So this thing is on washers. Teflon washers, by the looks of it. And... Are we centered? You can see that the tip is ground a little bit deeper on one side. Oh, it's a little more this way, while this one's much shallower. So it's a little hard to tell exactly where if it's centered. The tip's gonna be a little bit off-centered. I think we're pretty centered here. There's still a tiny bit of play. Why did tightening it make more play? That's a good question. The play is going away. Play is gone. Blade is now a tiny bit centered to the other side, but I can play with this and work it in. These Teflon washers definitely need a little bit of oil on them because I can see how dry and... When you're dealing with Teflon washers, just a little bit of oil can actually really help. Yeah, that's a noticeable improvement already. I can mess with the centering, but I'm not too worried. But this was a pretty relatively cheap knife. It wasn't super cheap. The larger variant is not right on the edge, I think, of budget normally. I mean, this one, of course, was on sale, but very large bevel. And they hit it when they were sharpening it. Yeah, on both sides. Wow. I mean, it's thick behind the edge, no doubt about that, but it's not terrible. It's actually got a good edge on it. Good access to the lock bar, though it's jimped, or, which I'm never fond of, but yeah, with just that little bit of oil on the washers, it's already improved considerably. Can I reverse flick it is the question. It does have pretty good thumb studs. You can get definitely under there, but are they accessible? How about with the nail? That might take some breaking in to do. Yeah, I think if I can break it in, I probably will be able to do that. It's not the largest knife. Sharpening tool plunge grind could, of course, be better. I mean, that's not something to complain about on a budget knife. I really like the G10, the way they've scalloped it and swelled it and everything like that. That's comfortable. Very recessed screw down in there. No big deal. It's a solid little guy. It's a good looking, straightforward knife. And other than that little bit of centering, I mean, honestly, yeah, that's pretty solid. I think I'll have to Loctite it too, because it does feel like it might be backing out a little bit. But solid lockup, slightly off center. I mean, certainly not unreasonable for a budget knife. In fact, let's see. I don't think it's actually off center. I think it's just, along with the edge bevel being round, I think the grind is just a little bit off. So overall, yeah, you can kind of see that it might be a little bit ground off. Still, though, overall, not bad. How's the actual tension on this clip? Good. I mean, I don't like the flat at the end, but meh, not bad. You know, I'm spending way too much time on this one knife. Let's get into the others. Let's use this knife as an opening knife. Nice resounding snap, I'll give it that much. This is a Civivi that I was meaning to look at once upon a time. It never got around to. And the only reason I'm not looking at, like, the most recently dropped Civivis, aside from the fact that they're not on sale, is because this is the Placoid. Civivi Placoid. This is the second one with this Shred G10. Let's get the oil off real fast. The first one was the Neurohaptic, I believe. I think they've only used this material twice, and this one was blue, and wow, yeah, that is really, really nice looking. That is really good looking. This is also a slightly larger knife than I thought it was going to be. It is a little off center out of the box, but I can work with that. Actually, it's a considerably larger knife than I was expecting it to be. That is some really good ratios. I mean, that's a lot of blade in there, and that handle does not feel huge in relation to it. Relatively thin, ultra comfortable in the hand. On bearings, lock bar access could maybe be a little bit better. You kind of got to come at it. I'm sorry, what now? I'm sorry, what now? Okay, so it's slightly off center. That would be centered. We are slightly off. I can adjust that. I'm sorry. This is a budget Civivi. Why is that in the... What the heck kind of action is that? That's not a thick, heavy blade. It's actually a relatively... It's a thin ground, nice blade. Sort of a modified sheep's footy blade. Good sharpening tool and plunge grind. Is that stop pin located up there? Good functional thumb studs. Solid detent. Deep carry pocket clip. Reversible. Flipper as well. But that... What the heck did they do to this thing? I've never had a Civivi or any knife at this price point do this. And feel that good doing it. Even like Kaisers. I've had Kaisers that can drop shot. That feels amazingly smooth. There's a little bit of friction, but that is completely drop shot. And like a reasonably controlled drop shot. Not like a horrible, ridiculously fast guillotine. Wow. And they don't have too much of a giant flat bill on the end of this particular clip, like Civivi likes to do. I'm sorry, where's this been all my life? What the heck? This is... If you want a large budget knife, holy crap if they do all like feel like this. Whoa, 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 that ain't normal. That feels like a considerably more expensive knife, the action on that. Not budget knife action at all. And it hasn't even really broken in, so it's going to get a little bit smoother. It might be a little bit gunky, because, I mean, it's a budget knife. They tend to come a little gunky and oily. I mean, Kaisers are really good at drop shutting stuff, because they do a lock bar, or not a lock bar, a tang cutout that reduces weight on the back end of the tang, which makes them really good at dropping. But you still, I mean, they're really good, but you still get a little bit of, like, clickiness, or not clickiness, but the bearings aren't always, like, perfect. That does not feel like a budget knife. Large, comfortable, 14C 28N. Wow. Okay, maybe I should have saved this to last. I'm not sure this can be beat. This is one of the most impressive budget knives I've seen for a while. And I've seen quite a few recently. Holy crap. Civivi, what sauce are you cooking with here? Ha! Yes. Okay. And moving on to the best Tekmen. Sadly, I have to move on from that because that was Jesus, that was good. Jeez, that was good. This is my first best Tekmen knife, actually. I've had best Tex, but never a best Tekmen. This is the Angry Owl in peel-ply carbon fiber, I think it is, or whatever you call it. Not my favorite look always, but I knew this one had some milling in it, and I thought maybe it would add another layer of dimension, and it does. It does. These also come in G10. Pretty reasonably priced. They're in D2, yes, and Keanu is the designer. It's a button lock. Not bad, not bad. Let's see. Good action. Good action. Got like a stonewash back here on the flat and a satin up here. Even the stonewash completely hides itself. Let's see. Sort of a dual ground, big, large bevel at the front. You can kind of, yeah, that beak kind of looks like an owl beak, kind of. I don't know why, it just reminds me of it. Reasonably thin, not quite as thin as that Civivi, but reasonably thin, certainly good enough. The spine is stonewashed as well. That's a nice touch, kind of. And, like, I mean, yeah, it's not the cleanest jimping ever, in the sense of, looks like there's a little bit of gunk in there, maybe left over. But it's not too bad. But, yeah, I mean, this is optimal jimping. Definitely optimal jimping. Tons and tons of bite. In fact, it's borderline too sharp, this jimping. But, wow, yeah, it provides tons of traction. Nice full grip. I was kind of worried about the button placement, thinking maybe it would, like, I'd hit it, but no, my hands aren't hitting it. How about... I could kind of hit it if I put my hands, kind of forcing my hands forward in the push grip. Yes, but naturally, I kind of fall right behind it even in the push grip. How about up here? No, you might find a problem, but I grip it right here in the push grip. So, oh yeah, I'm actually missing it both ways. It's not at all a problem in your basic grips. Kind of landing right behind it. Oh, this is not a button lock. I was not aware of that. I thought this was a standard button lock. This is a front-mounted compression lock. A little bit of wiggle to that button. Oh, it's just a tiny bit loose. So the button can be unscrewed. But that's not a big deal. I just tightened it. This is a button-operated liner lock. I was not aware of that. So that makes this much stronger than a regular button lock. Good detent. Good centering. No play. So-so clip. A little bit of flat on the end, but it's a little low. But, I mean, I imagine that provides some comfort. It's got good flex. It is reversible. Yeah, nice detent. Nice, comfortable in the hand. Once again, Bestech, I don't know why you need a logo and a name down there, but some companies like doing that for some reason. This is really nice. Where does that stop pin hit? Okay, I mean, it is, like, way up in the joil. I'm not too concerned about that. In fact, where does it hit? It hits... Wait, is that hitting? No, I don't think it's hitting the button. It's got internally mounted stop pins. I don't think that's actually hitting. So it's not hitting the button at all. It's got an internally mounted stop pin. So you have infinite life because they've also done... Okay, hold on. Companies, hold on. Look at this sharpening tool and plunge grind. You can barely see it because it's hidden up in there. But look at this. It drops almost down immediately, perfectly. Okay, guys, if you can do that, why don't you do that on everything? Just drop it down. I mean, yes, occasionally when you have a knife with a really big forward choil and you drop it down immediately like that, the choil can become uncomfortable because it gets real thin. But on every other case, if you can do that on this, do it on everything. I don't think there's really a case for it unless I'm forgetting something or not thinking about something, which is entirely possible. Yeah, that's definitely something that if you can do it more often. Quite comfortable in the hand. Quite nice. You see, the placoid's a tiny bit bigger than I was expecting, even though I kind of knew it was large. And this feels smaller than I think I was expecting. still, nice, decent-sized knife. Of course, it's real thick up in the front, but back here, yeah, no, it's reasonable. Doesn't have as good of an edge on it as the Civivi or the Buck, honestly. Like, sharp-wise. I mean, I'm sure it's probably a better executed edge than the Buck, but it's not quite as bitey or immediately sharp. Comfortable in hand. Lanyard hole back up in there. And a button-operated liner lock, which I was not aware of. Which is nice to see. And it seems to have been executed pretty well there. It's got a detent, so... yeah, it ain't coming out. Okay, okay. Wow, I have been having some really, really crazy nice luck with some of these budget knives. This is absurdly good at its price point. The $2 are meh. They're okay. They're not amazing. Actually, no. The third Buck, the Exert, for its price point, has, yeah, I'm liking that one. But these, particularly that, and again, I'm immediately going to start playing with the, see if I can get it perfectly centered. But these are really good, especially for their price point. This was, I know it was on sale. I bought it for $34. 100% worth it, even at a higher price point. I wouldn't mind seeing something other than D2, but I know that people don't like D2, and Chinese D2 is always a little suspect, but Bestech probably does a decently, adequately heat-treated D2. Not like optimally, but an adequately heat-treated D2. It's not a company that I'm going to be like saying, oh, yeah, I can't trust their D2 heat treatment. This isn't a no-name $10 knife, right? And other than the fact that it's not particularly corrosion resistant or proof, it's a tool steel, it's going to perform pretty well in toughness and edge retention. So it's not a bad steel. I do like seeing some more corrosion resistance, but I'm not going to complain about it here and there, right? I don't know if there's anything to complain about here. I think normally this is it a $40, $45? What did I get it for? I think I got it for $45. Is it normally $50 or $60? Yes. I'm gonna look into that, but yes. Okay. I'm gonna stop gushing over this, and yeah. I know you Buck, unfortunately, are the worst of the lot today, but you've got some redeeming aspects, and I think you just need to break in and be slightly adjusted. This thing is also similarly priced to, I think, the Blackoid. It's not super cheap. 40s or 50s, but it's not bad. So, okay, I'm gonna end things here. This took a while, but I really am flabbergasted once again by the quality of some of these budget knives. I'm out, I guess. See you later. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Sorry it took so long, but yeah, this is a good unboxing. See ya.